That we are friends from the business, that is the media business. Thank you so much for also just getting into spaces where you can utilize technology to advance the conversation about agriculture, because without food systems, then I don't think we can build a nature whereby a country can survive on its own sustenance. Right now, I'd like to welcome all the way from World Farmers Market Coalition, WFMC. I'd like to welcome Mr. Dennis Andai. He's going to talk to us for a bit. Naomba tumpigie makofi as he takes to stage. He's going to talk to us for a few minutes, and then soon after we will be giving our farmers the health insurance cards courtesy of Britam, and then vote of thanks, and then soon after we can call it a day.
Hamjambo, hiyo slogan inaendaje? Kenaf? It's quite an interesting one, you know. Jana, when I was here, nikitoka hapa, at night when I was sleeping, I was finding myself saying sauti ya mkulima. You know, it was very like it got ingrained in my mind. So yes, my name is Dennis Andai. I represent two organizations. One is RICOF, which is Regional Coalition for Farmers Markets, and another one is World Farmers Market Coalition. So my work for the last 14 years has been just straight working with farmers, and particularly smallholder farmers. And as a smallholder farmer, I always struggle, you know, where to sell my produce, because at the end of the day, why are we producing? You know, it's for consumption and to sell, you know. So as I struggle to sell, you know, I found it very difficult to penetrate through the traditional markets, you know, whether you call it Marikiti or Toy or whatever market in your neighborhood that happens on specific days. And I saw a lot of my waste, a lot of my food going to waste. So one of the things, food. And before I realized I couldn't keep the model sustainably, so I had to convince other producers to join the movement. So I created a parallel model of markets where I would take a market to a community, and I would take it where people are. It could be in restaurants, in bars, churches, any street, you know, and between the producer and the consumer. So in this case, anyone who sells in the markets that we run are the direct producer. So of a particular farmers market model that we borrowed a lot of concepts from Italy, but we've localized them, you know. So in this case, again, the same model. And youth and family-owned businesses, you know. So these are not like your super commercial farms, but again, who are the majority? The organizations or institutions, because I didn't know this was probably which is actually true, the oldest farmers organization or union. And over time, I struggled working with many organizations because a lot of them have stories, very good stories, you know. We've got 10,000 farmers. You ask enough, we've had quite interesting results, you know. The new market model that we're opening, quite a big percentage of the participant are actually members of KENAF. So this is, it's a question, it's just something to think, you know. Anything that farmers do at the end of the day is there has to be a return. Financially, if that doesn't come, but at the same time, farmers, if you look across, they are the only producers that do not dictate prices for their goods. And that's troubling, you know. You produce, you do your costs, you do everything, you go to the market and say this is going to go for 50 shillings, and somebody will say, no, I want to buy it for 20 shillings, you know. So we've got to find ways, you know, on how we can change this so that we can become like any other producer. If you produce that shirt, you decide what the price, and the consumer doesn't complain. But for farmers, it's just the opposite. So let's think about that, and let's think how we can elevate and improve our lives as farmers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Tumpigie makofi ya rasha rasha tafadhali. Asante sana sana sana. Without much ado, I'd like to welcome them all to stage. because they were our exhibitors out there through the exhibitors. Karibuni. Tuwapigie makofi as they give Karibuni. Tuwapigie makofi as they give us their address.
So doing a lot of market linkages. So in case you are stuck with markets, we are here to do support you. And finally, we are doing financial linkages for them. So feel free to onboard to our platforms. You can visit our stands out there, and we can be able to work with you. So you might ask yourself, why women? We understand that women do a lot of things in agriculture, but yet again, so true. We are here to change that and be able to support them. Karibuni sana, and be free to join us.
Huko wakawasalimia ama waliwalenga?